Hello. Today I want to start with this game. Which also happens to be the first game that I had on PlayStation. But certainly not the first game that I played. Of course, it's called the Disney Hercules. And well, first of all, the story about Hercules begins before PlayStation. It was summer 97, so I was either 6 or 7 years old when a friend brought me the VHS of this. I didn't really care for movies until that point, but that was really something special for me. I think I go with the medium settings for this one. Just for some nice gameplay. So yeah, I watched the Hercules on video and
so, let me just ask, is this kid gonna
really
mess
rocked
up my
my
hostile
world.
takeover bid or what? What do you think?
With all the fantasies about being Hercules and wanting all the toys and so on.
Jeez, my
For a year or two.
is in your lovely hands.
And actually I'm thinking must have been right after that when I started first grade in school, and there was one different friend with who I first played PlayStation. We had PlayStation and we played lots of Tekken 2, Crash Bandicoot for a good long time, and then he got stuff like Cheesy and Johnny Bachogone and Rayman, Zero Divide, Action Man, Tomb Raider, and
Should Hercules fight, you
Crash Team Racing, of course, but then something else as well. But I remember he was also the first guy who had this game, and I played a bit from here and there. This intro level is like permanently imprinted in my eyes. The funny dolls and Phil was a very good actor.
Alright! Not bad, kid! Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
I need to think a bit now how to pick longer games than on the NES, which was a big deal back then. So yeah, I had played only the NES from like 94 to 97. It was the only game console that I really had brief touches of something else, like Sega Saturn and so on, but mostly just NES. So touching PlayStation for the first time was very special, especially with the Tekken and Crash being some of the better games on the console.
Nice work! Excellent day!
Yeah, I remember playing a bit of this, and at least the third level was actually probably most of the early part of the game was something that some focus immediately. Just this here. So yeah, it was like 97 something when I first played this, or maybe early 98. I remember being from Christmas time. Or snow time after it, and walking home after beating one of the bosses. And then it kept being like that until the Christmas of 98, when out of the blue I realized my brother had bought me a PlayStation. It came with Hercules and another game that I was thinking about showing off after this for a bit different take. And then I just remember that I probably played that night with something else, but the next morning, early day, I was really wanting to properly play this and the other game as well, Actu Ice Hockey. But there was some kind of error or issue with the television being a bit old and small, mostly for the NES kind of stuff, and it didn't really support PlayStation right away, but my dad fixed it then somehow and I was able to play it. And I really remember playing this level. It was like, finally I can play it, and it's like real and all that stuff. It's not my all-time favorite game by any means, but there is something very PlayStation about this being an early movie that I really loved. What's happening with the picture? Oh well. So yeah, trying with different things. At least it's not a big loss yet. Let's quit another try. Yeah, no. Need to tinker with that some more. But this simple camera works as well, somewhat. So yeah, the movie is quite important still for my childhood, like first movie that I really liked. And yeah, before that Lion King and Notre Dame and what else? Pocahontas, and basically everything was quite boring, and I was more into short clips like Bugs Bunny and TMNT and something lasting well under an hour. But Hercules is one movie that I watched multiple times and can still watch. I don't really remember how many times This was quite a common game back then. Most all of my friends ended up having this, so this was kind of safe game. Let's play it when we have nothing else to do. It has the great music and looks kinda like the cartoon still, and just the action with how you can use sword or fists and the enemies in the background, and quite a bit of variety. and really good. Like I didn't know much about ancient Greece before this, but this kind of is part of why it's one of my favorite eras. All the mythology and the monsters here are very great. This is one place I remember this place exists, but not details. It's like 10 years since I last played this game. Yeah, back then quite a few times, and on the harder difficulties and of course the easier ones too, and trying to collect 100% everything, but I think in this game it's a bit I think I remember it being quite hard with the coins disappearing and not really motivation either to really grind everything. Now just getting a bit of feel for this. One down. I think it's also a bit double-edged since it's kind of shorter end game on PlayStation. We were able to complete it on Friend's place. It's barely longer than the movie, but it also makes it a nice brief experience. Yeah, let's just continue. And yes, these levels were very fun. After being, well, I had played Crash Bandicoot and so on, but this is still like, as much as I love the old Crash Bandicoots, it's like this so much going on with all the swinging plays and everything. Not really the same way. Crash, much more static. Oh. Yeah, this I remember really going through over and over, also to get the 100%, or at least like 98 or whatever. Now there's no hope, so not even really aiming for it. Trying to keep it something between like speedrun and, but not really. Very low stakes. More just the general vibes. Not being too fast, but not grinding either. You can still sing most of these songs and oh, not good, not good. Most of these songs are still on my playlists. best. I also remember like getting to 9 lives, and I think that's it. So getting 9 lives on by the 3rd or 4th level, and then just keeping it all the way. And even if this was like the first thing, long movie from Disney that I liked, it's also still like almost the only one. Well, there's the Toy Story, but that's a bit different. But after this I went to see Tarzan and I think one of the Atlantis movie in theater, but they were very instantly forgot. Never really felt like I'm Tarzan, but Hercules, yes please. Maybe it's just this game being so colorful and bright, but on screen the video still looks okay. Need to figure out what's with the capture card. Only got it recently and haven't done much things with it, but clearly not really a fan of this. Oh yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. You can change the attacks, even if it's kind of pointless, but a bit something. Actually, maybe just go. Not to stretch this too much. There is a certain part of me that wants to collect everything, but that's not really the point, plus it can be a bit dangerous. Bit of cheating, but often I kind of forget that the special weapons exist. I think on hard difficulty this is even a bit of a challenge, especially the early parts when you don't have so many lives, and levels get quite a bit shorter later on in general. This intro is very strong. The training montage is great then. I think this part is forest part is maybe the first part in the movie and as well as in this game. Oh, I think I haven't done so well, but I already have 7 lives. Yeah, the animations are great. It feels like an expanded version of the movie. Very good immersion. Most all of the great tunes and hurry. Ah. I think this there's no point, but okay, let's leave that one. Ah. Oh, it was one enough now. Oh, almost lost. I took a wrong turn somewhere. Or extra turn. Yeah, the 98 was Christmas was magical time playing this. Even if this isn't that long game. This was very nice, considering we weren't or aren't that close with my brother is way older and so on. But I had to almost think what to do, but that was the idea. Yeah, especially I remember there was this game store card in the box that had the date 19th of December 98, so 5 days before Christmas my brother got crazy and got me this. Actually haven't ever asked him what he thinks about Hercules. Has he seen it? Or was it just safe pick for kid back then? I remember here we were stuck for a long time with my first friend when we got to this part. What to do? Not work. We need to kiss her. No. What to do? Even if this was kind of in the movie, but still. walking. Yeah. Yeah, Megara was one of the early crushes and still very inspiring, to say it nicely. This is the stage that always felt like lasting for hours and hours. Almost like a real RPG, even if I didn't back then know what it is, but still I get those vibes. Walking in town full of random bystanders who mostly do nothing. No. I was thinking try to hunt for more lives, but no need. Even this is a bit of a maze, I think. Maybe not the most straightforward. Go up or down the stairs. And somehow these are very, very fun, these guys. And of course these ancient traffic lights. There's so much interesting stuff on this level. Even if it's like the game kind of slows down here, it's easy to get lost. Now I think there was probably the helmet somewhere that you should get. Minotaurs are also super cool things in Elder Scrolls and most everything, even if the real story is kind of disgusting. And his role in the movie was really nothing, but it's nice here. He gets a bit bigger part. Oh no, that was... It's a bit tight. Can't let him hit me again. Maybe one more, but there goes. It requires extreme focus. Still, is it even two more maybe? Hey, no. Oh, but... Did it count or no? At least it counted. Yeah. Still not too easy. This is very nice. Even I kinda want that 9 lives. Yeah, this I kind of forgot, but again, like the animations are really cool when you blow them up. It's just very pleasant to look at and very pleasant to listen, and even the gameplay has clear, not exactly maybe upgrades compared to something like Mario, but in a way there's more versatility. You can use the sword or fist, and then you have this nice 3D column destructions and so on. This I fully forgot. There's surprisingly much that I forget. No. 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 It's also a cool idea, but again this slows down the game quite a bit. Not a problem, but yep. Here's something very obvious. Especially on this level, getting the 100% was... I'm not sure if I ever got it. Maybe only 99 or 97 or something like that. High 90s anyway, but still like... Only after this game it kind of... The games like Crash Bandicoot and so on started to really track what you have gotten, and it always like haunts me. And I only later got back to this and was thinking, why not try to get everything in this game as well? But it really wasn't worth it, I guess. It's fun, there's so much to collect all the coins if you really want to invest your time and effort. It's nice to have, but it's also nice that it's no way necessary or required. Just fooling around in the Hercules town. Oh. Yeah, as far as PlayStation goes, I played it for many years, and I have tons and tons of games. I even already originally had Bloods, but then some more. Ouch. few years ago when the mini consoles were a big thing, I bought the PlayStation Mini or Classic or what's it called, but I was wondering if I should play with that or this real one, so now I'm playing on the real PlayStation. I was thinking originally that the Mini would be more convenient than might be in future, but yeah, it's the emulation. I'm not sure how good it is. I'm not too demanding, but I noticed in one of the games there was something off, so I decided to do with this. And of course, this is the real experience, so to say. But then again, the mini console might in way have better visual quality than this. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's mostly of the game done now, I guess. The normal stuff. But in a way the game only now starts. What's wrong indeed? It's the best thing ever. The movie was amazing in many ways, but Hydra was always the creme de la creme, so to say. I remember this from the TV ads and playing at friends for the first time, and this was like, oh no, is this real? This is what the real, how 3D this is, and the purple giant monster, always the best. And even if I like the real Greek mythology also a lot, as so to say real style minotaurs and medusas and so on, but in terms of Hydra, nothing beats this, I think. It's always the purple. And with those kind of faces, not really so much as snakes, but more like some kind of alien. Now this is even too fast. I would like this to last a bit more. I'll just explore a bit. This also had some very specific pattern, but okay. No more. I remember using the level cheat code and coming to this level quite a few times just to feel the vibe. It's still very beautiful monster. And I would like the big figure, big classic figure as an ornament. And yeah, this was another thing that wasn't so big in the movie, but I first remember seeing in the game and thinking, really, this too? What you do? Against Hydra you had the plan what to do, but yeah, even now I forget with the Hydra it's quite obvious what to do, but in certain way this is like the beginning of the end, which is great. Since after Hydra, Hercules becomes a superstar, and now he is like a superstar at this point. Come on, come on. Do it. Not exactly sure what are you supposed to do here. Small movements. Yeah, now I'm like a superstar and this is the day as usual, but it only gets ramps up from here. Yeah, it's good. The game still looks quite okay, even with the camera and on the original PlayStation. So I need to think what to do with the... Maybe in long term the mini... One thing I would like to do is test how the ROMs and emulation works, since the original hardware will get destroyed one day, so it would be nice to know that I have a working ROMs, not need to worry about that. Bye bye. I like the original, but it's a bit of a hassle, and I have lots of games and notice how they start to degrade. Even I keep them quite well, but
Let her go. You give up your strength for about 24 hours. Okay, say the next.
yeah. And Hades was very good villain as well, like about everyone. I'm starting to think the 1 hour mark would be a good place to aim for. This level I also remember from the TV ads and thinking that this looks like photorealistic, and I guess it was very impressive after the NES times. And even now I know some people can't look at these old games, but for my eyes it looks still perfectly adequate. feels good, it looks good, it sounds good, all good. So relatively speaking, there is this like Mario and Contra are about perfect, and of course I can't not think about how old they are, and based on that kind of tech, that they are truly amazing compared to the peers. This might not be so one of the not one of the best PlayStation games, but really this is basically just as good as the Mario and Contra from before. There's no other way to say it. Also the way how this allows you to play a bit at slower pace, just walking or jogging, and then you can dash forward. Oh, I knew this was coming, but wasn't exactly sure where. So yeah, the 1 hour mark would be a good place to stop this too, but let's see. I need to maybe pick up the pace a little. Yes, the chaos on this level is really good. With all the seeing this amount of, even in Crash and other games on PlayStation, you really don't see this well animated army of civilian kind of people running at you or anywhere. Yeah, this has been a nice game to play every few years. After the initial run, I think I got kind of bored this and sold this away eventually for other games, but since during COVID, when I had already before thought about collecting some games again, and during COVID time I think I bought this again. Because I like to show off some games on shelves, and I think this is like one of the must-haves, since it combines PlayStation and childhood movies and everything so aptly. Ow, that was an instant death. Voice is okay, at least same level as last time. So what, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 3 levels, 3 minutes per level. Without rush. This was also very fun level that I played multiple times just because I'm not a big fan of these side-scrolling shooter games, but this isn't exactly that, but both the scene in the movie was very epic, and this kind of just works. Seeing the Titans on the background, they were also are some of my favorite things about the Greek mythology and saving the gods. Very impactful and you really get to spam these super weapons as well. Even I think it's would be best to save for these spots. Yeah, it really says something about this game. This reminds me now that at some point I played the Tarzan PlayStation demo and kind of liked the gameplay of it, and then not so long ago, a couple of years ago, I got the game and played it, but I was really bored how every level was basically a jungle or something like that, and it got very dull, and I forgot like which level I am on and how many levels I have played and what is going on. While this is just like candy with the greens and blues and the reds, and very magical but still very artistic and so on. Extremely appealing to look at. And even the kind of certain fuzziness that is on this PlayStation, so I think if this was like modern game with super crisp graphics, it would actually lose something. Let me just try this. No, it doesn't work as well. Almost. Yeah, because something about overly crisp graphics is a turn off for me. Something like Cuphead looks great, but a bit plastic in a way or something. Ouch. And this one also with the collecting every coins is like how you do it. Almost. But still. I think we'll be a bit over 1 hour. But still, this is, when I was thinking about doing this, I was thinking this is still one of the shorter games that you can complete in 1 hour. There aren't that many PlayStation games that you can complete in 1 hour. It's also a good way to time it, since sometimes I've felt this feels like 30 minutes, but I haven't really done like a speedrun attempt ever. So must be closer to 45 or 50 minutes anyway. Which is like with the Mario and Contrast 2, it's just great for playing every now and then. Like an interactive version of a movie. This was very creepy, and this was also one of the better parts in the movie, with like real stakes, and it was very dramatic for a kid, with Hercules losing powers and still being brave enough to come here with all the ring monsters. And this game captures the feeling very well. Army of skeletons and ghosts and scary blue death goo and everything. Whoa. Almost fucked up there. It's a good way to start the PlayStation Part 2. Still not sure what I'm doing with these, but ooh, it was very risky. I had an idea before to try making a video about playing something, like also for archival purposes for myself, since I have a big collection now, and it's nice to have something like on emulators running a video or something, so I was thinking why not try this too. I've also done like text reviews for most of my games, but this is another way to recap, and with all the mini consoles and so on, it's easier and nice to just go through at least some of these.
You like making deals. Take me in next place. The sun, hidden rival, trapped bird.
Spoilers, but this is one of the top scenes in the movie. And actually getting to fight the bad guy at the end in the game is very, very rewarding. Even it might be because of the tough contest that Hades as a enemy in this isn't perhaps the most captivating, and also this boss is a bit it's cool just seeing again with the cools moving and the green fog in front, and how he moves around is all okay, but it's still like if you don't stop to collect too much stuff, it's a bit. He never gets a chance to attack. His attack is kind of annoying when he gets it out, but if he doesn't get it out, with fist, Hercules is strong. See, he can punch harder than hit with sword. Let's finish this. One more punch to the face or whatever. Game's over, indeed. Not great percentage, but it will do. And then the princess of my life is saved again. And that's it. What for next? What for next? Seems the video capture is still acting up. Yeah. I check how this game looks, and if it's unbearable, then I try the capture card again. But no. Let's go. Oh no, that's not good. It's not visible at all. Finish is the best option. Just for the laughs, because this is quite a special game. But first, let's take that. say this is one of the best parts about this game is that it's 2-minute periods. And really not much more is bearable at all. Yeah, let's go with this. Oh, toughy. Let's see how it looks. It's not very important game, so as long as it's can make up the things the video. Yeah, that's fine, but the camera needs a bit. It's funny, it's also like 10 years since I played this and still it's very easy to think what to do. But so this was the other game, Act 2 Ice Hockey, that brother got me on that Christmas '98.
Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Mikä syöttö? Hän ampuu kiekon. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän hävittää kiekon.
Back then, one of my friends had an NHL 98 on PC and we played it a lot. Well, quite a lot, not that much, but quite a bit. And of course in a million ways it's better than this, but I had to play usually with the joystick and or a mouse. We had those basically options, so it was the controls kind of shocked, but you could see that the game had lots of qualities to it. This is rough compared to it, of course. For a time I was enjoying playing this as well. If for nothing else, the funny commentary. In all languages it's funny, even if I don't understand some of, or didn't understand some of the languages, it's still funny how stiff and campy it is.
Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
I wasn't big ice hockey player back then, but or like before this. Nagano was the, or actually I didn't even really know anything about Nagano. The next 98, 99 championships were the first thing that I really watched and started to play outside with the boys. And we ended up playing a lot and lots of NHL games and real hockey, video game hockey and everything, but yeah, so fast periods. This was like a nice mixer next to Hercules. After I had done everything in it, I did play this, and I have some vivid memories from when I was like early '99. Very cool fact there. So yeah, early '99 playing this on my parents' bed. And like between playing this I was watching Friends and Simpsons and some real hockey leagues. And playing some, this game kind of maybe inspired me to play some outside hockey too, even if this is very tanky, very stiff with the hits and shots are like golf shots that sometimes go in and sometimes not. It's often like pinball, but stiff pinball. Later on I got some orange games, and it was kind of hard to get back to this, but there is this certain kind of value now. Some friends also remember playing this game at my place. Ah, that was dumb. It looks okay, and ambilight looks very bright. It is quite random and not much skill involved as such. Just stop the attack and strike. Oh. Yeah, it's also weird that you can't really shoot while you're moving. You basically do this golf attacks, golf shots. The AI is very simplistic and basically doing those golf shots again and again. But later on, or like more recently, I started buying some other hockey games because even if this is so bad, this is still kind of entertaining. And I've noticed that this isn't even that bad. It looks very nice, the ice is very good looking, and the camera angles are great, and like the content side is quite solid. There are plenty of hockey games where you can't fast forward after game breaks or so on, or have other problems. And hän vie kiekon ylös. Oh, and that's one thing in the game. The glitches. The glitches that the goalie stands in middle of goal and doesn't move anywhere before a game break. So if someone shoots the puck, it's almost automatic goal. But I've noticed that the same kind of bug exists in some other PlayStation games, that hockey games that aren't made by the same company. So it's funny. But yeah, this was one game that on PlayStation Mini it didn't look nearly as nice as here. The ice looks really good here. Of course, I still have to use the HDMI adapter, which is a bit unfortunate, but I have another TV I considered using, which has the SCART connection, but then I don't have the ambilight and so on. Siinä minulle. Yes.
kiekko pelataan eteenpäin. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Pitkä kiekko. Ja tuomari valmistautuu pudottamaan kiekon. Ja kiekko pelataan eteenpäin.
I'm just hypnotized by the great commentary. Almost as bad as mine. I didn't want any overtimes.
Tuo täytyy sattua.
Come on, come out.
Hän laukaisee.
Ah, 3 times already. Very ping.
Kaadettiin. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Hän syöttää aitaan.
Take him some better country.
Hän liikkuu reunaa pitkin.
In this game there's only so much you can do.
Kiekko
It's really hard to have any kind of planned attacks. Only that. And this after goal ceremony is very epic. It was surprisingly tough. I remember long ago when this was new game to me, I used to also play on easy and like try to get as many goals as possible, and a couple of times I won something 85-2 or something like that. A bit interesting to think how to, well, I'll be completing this tournament and seeing what else is there. It's basically this. This is the game.
Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon.
A bit sad in a way, but also a classic. Whether it's sad or good thing, it's up for grabs. Oh no, empty goal. Nothing to do. Yeah. Now the game is really showing me how bad it can be.
Hän vie kiekon ylös. Nyt putoaa. Torjunta. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Hyvä syöttö.
I really know any team play. But it looks nice and it was like
Hän vie kiekon ylös.
my first team. Koivude making everything.
Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Mikä maali.
There was even some kind of passing formation. But again, no kind of defense. Even on PlayStation, you can do much better gameplay than this.
Ja hän tekee maalin.
Another free goal.
Ampuu. Vie kiekon yli sinivin. Mikä maali.
I wanted to have line changes. I missed that option.
Ja hän tekee maalin. Ja vielä tekee maalin. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle.
Ah. At least it's not in way too easy. It's very simplistic, but there's still certain
Hän pelaa kiekon puolueettomalle alueelle. Ja torjunta.
certain logic to the game.
Mahtava syöttö. Hän jatkoi kiekon verkon perään.
Wow, someone else.
Ja suhde. Hän syöttää. Mahtava syöttö. Lyöntilaukaus. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Liikkuu laitaan. Mahtava syöttö. Liikkuu laitaan. Kiekko laukaistaan. Hyvä osu. Ampuu kiekon. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
That black line is also funny after a shot.
Aitsio. Pelaajat ovat valmiina. Hän nostaa kiekon korkeuksiin. Uskomaton torjunta. Hän syöttää puolueettomalle alueelle. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän ampuu hyvän laukauksen.
Six four.
Mikä maa? Ja suhde. Torjunta.
Free goal. For Koivu, who else? Yeah, now I'm kind of getting done with this game. With Hercules it was easy to play the game to completion, but this is a bit...
Keskiviivan syöttö. Siinä oli syöttötilaisuus.
At least I know it's a short tournament, not a full league with 82 games and all. Thank God.
Loistava pelastus.
But it's not like
Kiekko laukaistaan.
worst thing ever. It's quite a poor game, if very honest, but I've played worse.
Hän syöttää puolueettomalle alueelle.
But I also sold this at some point.
Hän vie kiekon
I was
ylös.
thinking it was very good deal. I sold this away for some other game.
Hän syöttää puolueettomalle alueelle. Mikä syöttö? Kiekko laukaistaan.
Ah,
Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän laukaisee. Hän taklaa sen puhtaasti jaloiltaan. Mahtava syöttö.
Full speed, full speed!
Hän torjuu.
Ah,
2 viikon syöttö ja peli tuodaan takaisin aloitukseen. Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin. Luettomalle alueelle. Hän ampuu kiekon.
Tikkanen. Someone else will change. So yeah, Tikkanen is one guy I never saw playing when I was a kid.
Hän ampuu. Siinä
I
sivu.
just had time to quit when I started following.
Kiekko laukaistaan. Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin. Kiekko pelataan alas. Kiekko laukaistaan. Hyvä syöttö.
Oh, but this game has multiplayer. I remember playing this with a couple of friends, and that's almost okay. You can almost have some kind of
Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin.
strategies.
Tuon täytyy tuntua. Paitsi on.
Players going where you want, and 2 versus 2 is even something to like. It can be a bit competitive.
Mikä syöttö? Tuon täytyy saada. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Ja kiekko on verkon perin. Ja suunnitellaan. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän ampuu kiekon. Ja suunnitellaan.
No fast, no fast. But yeah, not really realistic numbers, so no wonder I got something. Fighting. But it's the computer fighting. And everyone else is loitering around like maniac. Who wins this exciting match? They did. Too bad.
Tuoli rangaistuksen paikka. 2 minuuttia. Hän ottaa kiekon. Hän laukaisee. Mahtava syöttö. Hän laukaisee maaliin.
I wanted to run down the clock. Never stop playing. Koivu was very efficient. Canada, USA. Maybe this still.
Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon. Hän laukaisee. Maali!
That was almost a planned formation.
Ja kiekko pelataan eteenpäin. Hän laukaisee. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin.
It was also fun that this game had these Poland and Netherlands and all kinds of countries that you don't see in other games. Most of which suck, but there was something funny also playing as them and against them.
Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän ampuu. Hän syöttää. Hyvä syöttö. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Toinen jäätyy. Kaadettiin. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Tuomari on nähnyt rikkomuksen ja hänellä on käsi pystyssä merkiksi 2 minuuttia.
And penalties are also very random.
Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan.
Just press buttons and sometimes they do something forbidden or not. But at least it was very common. And in these 2-minute periods it's basically non-existing.
Hän laukaisee. Tuo täytyy sattua. Torjunta.
Yeah, oh, that's lucky. 2 in a row.
Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin. Ja nyt putoaa. Hän ampuu. Hän nostaa kiekon korkeuksiin. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän ampuu.
I want to try one more trick. If I just let the Shambonic do its thing. I think it's doing. Yeah, that's enough.
Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin.
Yeah, the ice looks quite a bit cleaner now. It's one of the highlights in this game, how the
Ja hän on
ice gets
hän vie
realistically
ja hän laukaisee
marked by the ice
pistettä.
gates and whatnot. And during breaks, if you let the breaks really run all through, then the ice gets very, very shiny and new looking.
Hän ampuu. Mahtava syöttö. Hyvä syöttö. Hyvä osuu. Liikkuu. Hän ampuu. Hän taklaa sen puhtaasti jaloiltaan. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän ampuu. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän ampuu. Hän ampuu.
Scary thing there.
Mitähän hän oikein ajatteli? Mahtava syöttö. Mikä maali? Ampuu hyvän laukauksen. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Ampuu kiekon. Hän syöttää laitaan. Mahtava torjunta. Hän ampuu.
Now I need to start thinking, do I want to complete this tournament?
Ja kiekko on verkon perin.
Or move it one more? Ah. I have completed so far every game, so do I want this to be the first game that I don't complete?
Maali. Pelaajat ovat valmiina. Uskomaton torjunta. Vie kiekon uskomaton torjunta. Kiekko laukaistaan. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän syöttää laitaan. Kiekko laukaistaan. Ja hän tekee maalin.
That was kind of nice actually. Nice rebound. It's not a hopeless game, but and it's like one reason why I started buying so many hockey games was that all these old hockey games seem to have some kind of unique thing going for them. Oops, much better than the modern era where it's just EA Sports, EA Sports, EA Sports. And basically nothing ever changes. This PlayStation era was really nice. There are so many hockey games and I don't think I even still I know about 10 different companies who made, but I'm not sure if that's even is everything. But yeah, I basically again almost rather play this than whatever 26 or 25 version.
Mahtava syöttö. Ampuu kiekon. Liikkuu
Some versions sure, but it's
hän
so
hävittää kiekon.
like you only need one of or two of those games, but this is very unique game in a game shelf.
Hän laukaisee.
This has some purpose to exist.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä osu. Hän jatkoi kiekon verkon perille. Mahtava maali. Ja suoritettu.
But then I think I also want to show after this the training modes, which were quite fun. And maybe even played those more than these normal modes. There's great variety in the practice modes. and fun to just fuck around. Again, one thing that is kind of missing in many modern games. But let's see if I play this tournament first and then a bit of the practice modes. There's certain nice zen feeling to those. Yeah. I'll quickly check if I can save this. Actually I can. So maybe I first play the practice modes and then think what to do. How do I leave this? What? There's no way to leave this. No way. Okay, one more. I don't remember this issue. Alright. If it was 5-minute periods I wouldn't play this, but with 2 I can finish all the 3 games in the time it normally takes 1. Okay.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän syöttää laitaan. Hän ampuu hyvän laukauksen. Hän ampuu.
And of course it's possible that I lose. Maybe not against this one, but maybe the next already.
Mikä syöttö? En ole varma mitä tuomari on nähnyt, mutta 2 minuuttia touhutaan. Mikä maa?
Kind of want to quit already, but in my head this might be the last time I play this game. Then retire it in my collection and see what happens. Not going to play this in next 10 years or something.
Mikä syöttö? Hän vie kiekon ylös. Maalva tuottaa kiekon kiinni.
Yeah, this is very unrealistic, but there are those small moments when it almost feels like hockey.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle.
The puck falls on someone and pass and another pass and shot and rebound and so on. But half the time it's just players wandering around with no goal, no idea what to do.
Mikä syöttö? Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle.
And that also, like from offensive and back to the defenseman. In some games that's never possible, but here it at least sometimes.
Ampuu kiekon. Hän syöttää. Tuon täytyy tuntua. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Mikä on mahtava maa. Ja Suomi. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä syöttö. Mikä maali.
Sometimes you can't just not score.
Hyvä osu. Maali. Ja Suomi. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Ja pelaa sen puolueettomalle alueelle.
Oh, damn it.
Hyvä osu.
No, I just kind of want to spend the time. And this was one thing that I did back then. When I got bored, I started doing all kinds of weird stuff. Like trying to score an own goal. But no, not this time. Now very pro moves.
Molemmat joukkueet ovat valmiina aloittamaan.
Actually, after that many goals, maybe it's time for this.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle.
To really relive the highlights.
Hän vie kiekon ylös. Mikä maali.
Beautiful.
Ja Suomi. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin.
Now just run down the clock. Some nice passing here.
Mahtava torjunta. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Nyt putoaa. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Ja hän on jäässä. Hän ampuu hyvän laukauksen.
Actually, I think I will save after this, and if I will think what to do later with the rest of the tournament. I think this might still get a bit long, and I really want to have the... No, maybe I make a separate video about the practice thing, since I need to reset the console anyway.
Ja hän tekee maalin.
Nice replays and also the mystery of who did it.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Mikä syöttö? Hän syöttää. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Mitä hän oikein ajattelee? Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon. Hän laukaisee. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hyvä osu. Jäädyttänyt kiekon vaihtaakseen miestä. Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon. Hän torjuu. Siinä sinulle. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
I won't do it yet. Oh, good interception.
Mahtava osuma.
Very golf shot here.
Kiekko laukaistaan. Torjunta. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Ja pelaa sen puolueettomalle alueelle.
What a goal. Indeed.
Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon. Hyvä syöttö. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Ja nyt putoaa. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Mikä syöttö?
It's almost an hour. Well, this is interesting game. In a good sense I lose this, which would be almost preferred. So what to hope, what to hope. Not that easy, not that easy. You need to fight for it. What?
Liikkuu raitaan. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Maali!
Again with the free goals.
Vie kiekon mikä torjunta. Liikkuu kahden viikon syöttö ja peli tuodaan takaisin aloitukseen. Hän syöttää. Ampuu. Mikä maa.
I'm not really asking for this, but I'll take it anyway. Of course, this is the kind of game where you can make 3 goals and then make 3 goes on the other end.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Tuon täytyy sattua. Mahtava torjunta. Hän syöttää laitaan. Mahtava taklaus. Kiekko laukaistaan. Mikä syöttö. Laitsio. Mikä syöttö. Hän laukaisee. Ja suunnitellaan. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Mikä maa?
Now a free goal for me. Fair.
Ja suunnitellaan. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Ampuu kiekon. Kiekko laukaistaan.
That was a beautiful
Liikkuu reunaa pitkin.
chance.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä syöttö. Siinä sinulla. Ja tuomari valmistautuu pudottamaan kiekon.
Okay, I'll change this back. The light show is nicer than the replay. At least on this television.
Nyt hän torjuu. Maali. Ja suunnitellaan. Hän laukaisee. Hän torjuu. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
Now this is getting almost intense.
Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Kaadettiin.
Go,
Hän jatkaa
yes.
kiekon verkon perille. Mahtava maali. Ja suunnitellaan. Hän syöttää. Torjunta. Tuomari on nähnyt rikkomuksen ja hänellä on käsi pystyssä merkiksi, että jäähy on tulossa. 2 minuuttia on. Hän hävittää kiekon. Hyvä syöttö. Hän taklasi hänet puhtaasti jaloilta. Mikä maali? Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän torjuu. Mikä syöttö? Tuomari on nähnyt rikkomuksen ja hänellä on käsi pystyssä merkiksi, että jäähy on tulossa. 2 minuuttia. Hän vie kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Ampuu hyvän laukauksen. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Ja hän tekee maalin. Ja se on tekee maalin. Hyvä syöttö. Ja tuomari valmistautuu pudottamaan kiekon. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Kaadettiin. Hän kääntyy puolustukseen. Hyvä osu. Syöttöpaitsiossa olevalle pelaajalle. Hän syöttää laitaan. Häntä ei 2 minuuttia väkivaltaa. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Vie kiekon yli siniviivan. Hän laukaisee. Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon. Tähän ei oikein 2 minuuttia väkivaltaa. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueen. Ampuu kiekon. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
Yhdysvaltain puolustusministeriö ja presidentti Trump eivät ole tänään sulkeneet pois maajoukkueen käyttöä Venäjän.
Tässä on hyvä, että ristiriitaisen lausunto, että puolustusministeri Hakset selkeästi totesi, että he eivät halua tämmöisen Irakin sodan Afganistanin.
Loistava pelastus.
Pitkäaikaisen hallinnovaihto operaatio maajoukkoilla sitoutua. Mutta sitten taas presidentti Trump ei sulkenut sitä pois, mikä tietysti on järkevää viestintää tässä vaiheessa, koska se rohkaisee tällaisia.
Hän vie kiekon ylös.
Iranin sotaa käydään nyt 3. päivää, mitkä ovat olleet tähän mennessä sellaisia keskeisimpiä huomioita.
Joukkueet ovat valmiina tuomarin pudottamaan kiekon. Ampuu kiekon.
Nämä omat ohjuksensa hyvin tehokkaasti. vastaavasti on kyennyt jatkamaan suurilla määrillä lennonvetäjäohjuksia näitä iskuja Persianlahden alueelle. Toisaalta, mistä he ei ottanut opikseen, niin tämä Israelin ja Yhdysvaltojen ensi-isku onnistui aika hyvin, eli heitä lähes 50 ylistä johtajaa ja keskeistä toimijaa tällä hetkellä heti.
Ja tässä kartassa näemme näitä Iranin iskuja sekä myös Yhdysvaltain Israelin iskuja tuonne Iraniin. Tänään on uutisoitu myös siitä, että Kreikka lähettää sotalaivoja hävittäjiä Kyprokselle, mikä näkyy täällä kartan vasemmassa reunassa. Saksa, Ranska, Britannia koventaneet puheitaan. Kuinka todennäköisenä pidätte sitä, että eurooppalaiset valtiot ajautuvat mukaan tähän sotaan?
No, tuskinpa suoranaisesti ajautumaan mukaan sotaan, mutta tämä kyllä vaikuttaa meidänkin turvallisuuteen ja suoraan tietysti vaikuttaa talouteen, mutta samanaikaisesti nämä vaikutukset tuolta alueelta saattaa heijastua laajemmin.
Paljon puhutaan eskalaation riskistä. Tasavallan presidentti puhunut siitä tänään, presidentti Macron Ranskassa. Miten te näette, että tämä sota voi eskaloida?
No se on tietysti Iranin johdon ainoita keinoa. He pyrkii niin paljon eskaloimaan tätä kuin mahdollista. Tänään on isketty niihin öljynjalostamoihin. He pyrkii varmasti
Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekkoa.
proksiryhmiä öljynjalostamoihin tehokkaasti ja sitä kautta laajentaa tätä vaikutusta.
Proksiryhmät.
Hän vie kiekon ylös. Kiekko laukaistaan.
Tämä jatkuu niiden keskeisten kohteiden tuhoamisena. Israel pitää huolen siitä, että se on niin paljon Iranin asevoimia tutottua kuin mahdollista.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän vie kiekon ylös.
Keskustelu Iranin sodasta jatkuu illan A-studiossa.
Ampuu kiekon.
Keskustelussa Kristian Perkkuva. Kiitoksia haastattelusta.
Kiekko laukaistaan.
Yhdysvaltojen hyökkäys Iraniin heijastuu myös Euroopan turvallisuuteen.
Tapauksessa olevalla
On vaikea arvioida Iranin sodan vaikutuksia, koska hyökkäyksen
tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekkoa.
Iranin heikentyminen voi kuitenkin helpottaa Ukrainan tilannetta.
Siinä on.
Erityisesti Sahelien droonijärjestelmien ylläpitoista. Näillä on siis toisena positiivinen vaikutus, että Iranin hallinto enemmän tai vähemmän halvaantuu terrorismin tukemisessa.
Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin.
Euroopan osalta on ihan hyvä, jos Iran ei pysty kehittämään kaukovaikutteisia ohjusjärjestelmiä tai ydinasejärjestelmiä.
Hän laukaisee. Mahtava syöttö. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Uskomaton torjunta. Mahtava syöttö. Hyvä syöttö. Hän syöttää. Hän saattaa saada puhtaasti jaloon. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Hän jatkoi kiekon verkon perille. Mahtava maa. Ja suunnitelma. Ja kiekko pelataan eteenpäin. Mahtava syöttö. Mikä syöttö? Hän syöttää aitaan.
Suomessa ja euroalueella ylipäätään voi inflaatio olla
Kiekko laukaistaan.
Suomi is inflation.
Joo. Yes, everything gets more expensive. Very far and very fight and very Russia, very close then. Very close in companies.
That horse is like similar prices. But in Chile not
Kiekko pelataan eteenpäin. Mikä maa?
salary is less. Very less.
Hän vie kiekon ylös.
Depends. Some people have no salary here.
Ja tuomari valmistautuu pudottamaan kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Hän laukaisee. Hyvä syöttö.
Kasvattaa ydinasearsenaalia. Presidentti Macronin
Hän laukaisee.
Ranska ei kerro, kuinka paljon sillä on tulevaisuudessa ydinkärkiä, mutta ne täydentävät Naton ydinasepuolustusta. Joissain oloissa Ranska voi käyttää ydinaseitaan liittolaisten kanssa, mutta ydinaseiden
Kuusos on täällä ylhäällä.
Ranskan presidentti. Ranska on EU:n ainoa
Ampuu. Mikä torjuu? Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin. Mikä syöttö? Hän laukaisee. Hän syöttää. Loistava pelastus. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Taklaus. Uskomaton torjunta. Hieman liian pitkä. Joudutaan tuomaan aloitukseen. Kiekko pelataan eteenpäin. Aitsioon.
Miten presidentti Macron perusteli näitä ydinaseohjelman muutoksia?
No muun muassa Venäjän hyökkäyksellä Ukrainassa, Venäjän hyökkäyksellä muutenkin.
Mikä syöttö? Tuon täytyy tuntua. Hän syöttää.
Tilanne alkaa eskaloitumaan maailmassa. Konfliktit kärjistyvät. Yhä enemmän nähdään konflikteja sellaisissa valtioissa, jotka on ydinaseita tai kehittävät niitä. Ja tietysti yhtenä syynä myös tuo
Hän nostaa kiekon. Kiekko laukaistaan. Hän syöttää. Hän laukaisee. Hän takaa sen puhtaasti jalassa. Hän laukaisee.
Mitä me oikein tiedämme muiden Euroopan maiden
Ja kiekko pelataan eteenpäin.
Macron ilmoitti saman tien 8 Euroopan maan kumppanimaan osallistumisesta näihin harjoituksiin, mitä ovat pääpiirtäneet Iso-Britannia ja Saksa.
Mikä torjuu?
Puola, Ruotsi, Tanska, Belgia ja Kreikka.
Tuomari on paikallaan pudottamaan kiekon.
Suomen ulkoministeri Antti Anttila sanoi heinäkuussa, että on ainoastaan positiivista, jos Ranska
Hyvä syöttö. Kiekko pelataan alas. Liikkuu reunaa pitkin. Hän syöttää. Ja toinen.
Marksista raportoi Ranskan toimittajamme Miina Väisänen. Jatketaan kotimaasta. Huumekuolemia voisi estää tällaisen
Tuomari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin.
suikkeen avulla, mutta paperisota on hidastunut sen käyttöönottoa Suomessa. Aine on nimeltään naloksoni. Sitä käytetään yleisesti
Hyvä
opioidien yliannostusta vastaan
Kaadettiin.
esimerkiksi Yhdysvalloissa. Meillä Suomessa lääkärit vetoavat valtioon, jotta naloksonin jakeluesteitä purettaisiin.
Ei ole varma mitä tuomari on nähnyt, mutta rangaistus on tulossa 2 minuuttia. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Hän pamauttaa kiekon. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle. Torjunta. Tuumari valmistautuu aloittamaan pelin. Ja hän tekee maalin. Hyvä syöttö eteenpäin. Syöttö. Kiekko laukaistaan. Hän vie kiekon ylös. Kiekko pelataan keskialueelle.
Pitäisi olla, eli nythän on tullut parannuksena se, että naloksonia saa apteekista reseptivapaasti, mutta sen esteenä on tietysti hinta, se on suhteellisen korkea käyttäjille.
Ja vielä Euroviisutunnelmia. UMK-voittajat Pete Parkkonen ja Linda Lampenius matkaavat toukokuussa Euroviisuihin Itävaltaan, ei siis Sveitsiin, kuten kello 6 lähetyksessä kerroin. Tämä kaksikko voitti UMK-karsinnan lauantaina ylivoimaisesti kappaleellaan Miekin heitin. Voitto on puhuttanut myös Parkkosen kotikunnassa Pihtiputaalla, ja näin muusikot itse arvioivat, miksi kappale menestyi.
Lähtemässä meillä tehtyä koko biisi. Aika kiva. Jengillä tästä ei siis nyt kuljettaa sen aika pois sitä meikkapain sanoen. Tosi hyvä biisi. Ja tietysti mä uskon sen, että meidän rakkaus tähän meidän tekemiseen ja aitous siihen aitous välittyy rehellisyydestä joskus puheessa.
Ja tää lähtee meistä aika paljon. Me ollaan molemmat oltu mukana tekemässä tätä. Ja se on, musta tuntuu se vahvuus siinä, että ollaan oltu tässä projektissa mukana tekemässä tätä.
Ja taisi olla niin, että sieltä tuli vain ainakin Marshall vaihtoa ja nyt vaihtuu vähän lisää vielä ja Holstani.
So, time to try some of the practice modes. Something else. Like something that is a joke. Norway is a joke. And Puola is also a joke. This is fun camera angle for to like say this game has some great camera angles. It's very nice in normals, but a bit messy looking in some ways. But it takes you very close to action and lets you see very nicely this action. But it's very easy to get strolled over in actual games. And this camera angle really shows how the ice shines, and it's very like in certain sense this 3D is very cool. The goalie, the goal, the players, everything looks much better than in many of the other hockey games I played recently on PlayStation. But it's a very messy. Doesn't look like it looks nice, but forgot the audio, but it's nice to play even without the audio. Like this is just very generic, basic tones and I like this kind of practice mode. This is much better than in many or more modern games. It takes a fun idea. And the way you can actually see the puck goes in the goal. It doesn't happen in many, even the EA Sports hockey games on PlayStation. It's very unclear what happens, but again, I can say that's confirmed goal. But of course this is the extra mode, but it says something that I almost played more these practice modes than the actual game back when I played. That is pretty fun mode with 5 against the goalie. Then something else. Rangaistukset, penalty shots. That's not that we already saw in the main tournament. Japan and why not Kazakhstan? More of the same, but this time solo. And the whole concept is fun. That one player in full arena goes against the goalie. And especially if it's a city player against a city goalie. Nope. Who would pay to watch this? But it happens. Time to go, golf shot from here. Aye. No, Paul Curry goes for full attack. No. Got very stuck. Beautiful shot. No, just a bit of how you can like the camera angle is moving very nicely. Like this kind of feels like playing outside. You can just listen to the puck hitting the rink, or you can try to troll your goalie with these assist. Unfortunately you can't shoot that way, but you can do that, or then Now I remember the audience, especially the white shirt. Goalie comes and text. And you can see the player reflections on the glass, that's also very nice. Do it. Yes. It's a bit basic fun, but certainly some kind of fun. And once again, it's nice to see the new effects on the ambilight. Oop, that was very lucky. But still, it kind of makes sense. So there are good things about this game, even if it's clearly very flawed and half-baked, but in ways that also brings some charm. Maybe one more. Here you can make your own cups and own leagues. That was also quite nice. Actually, I think this was like both teams have formed some players, and in this the other team has 4 players. I think they are a bit boring. Maybe let's look first this. Trying to think what was the league and cup. I don't remember. These were some kind of, you can have more teams, I guess. I remember is making some really big contests with all the teams. But it's not for this time. But the amount of teams is nice, and it's nice this is so national team oriented game. Maybe we'll run it today, but yeah, let's take one more. And these are nice, obscure countries, at this point anyway. Let's try another camera mode for this one. Actually this one maybe. Another one, quite inconvenient camera angle in a way, but still there's something to like in this. Like some games only have bad angles, but this, even if they are kind of bad, they are still interesting and in a way functional. Okay, let's try this normal basic camera. Yeah, the vibe is different than in the official tournament gameplay. It's like full stadium and like official game, but still somehow so light-hearted, without anything stupid. Now I can't resist this. It didn't work. Take it off, take it off. This content 00, very embarrassing. Nope. But that's a good place to end this. It's a nice game, or like, it's a classic for me, and there are enough nice things to focus on, even if the base team play is like this. That's a perfect summary for the game. Alright, game number 3, or PlayStation, my third game and in a way also my first game. So I got the PlayStation on Christmas '98, and about 1 month later it's my name day. So when I was in the local supermarket where we often went with my mom and dad, this was in the bargain bin pile there, and it was really nice since never before I had really seen any NES games, so it was the first time I was able to buy something, and this game was very cheap. Someone maybe guessed already based on the video what game this is, but so, roll gauge. So my name day was coming, and this was a cheap game, like 15 euros or 99 or 100 marks in that time era. Let me just check what is here. Yeah, that's all fine. Looks okay on screen. And let's take my favorite, original favorite, blue, with lots of focus on speed and strength and all sorts of bully tactics. Tony! So yeah, my name day was coming, and that was really the game. Of course, looking at this game cover, it's made for a kid like that. These cars are absolutely beautiful, like RC cars, but so much more. Let's start. And my eyes when I started playing this game. I had played plenty of PlayStation games at friends, but still, just the speed what I'm going now is really unbelievable based on what I had played before. And now when I look at the whole idea that this first track is like an island with the water, nice water and orange sky surrounded from everywhere. The asphalt looks great, that's just the trees and the buildings, and some fog you can also see there. And all the light show that comes from the weapons. And all sorts of like the turbo on the car, afterburner on the car. And the music is 8 year at least. really funky and smooth for this kind of action. It was quite an easy win, but I remember the first times I played this, it was hard to control the car at all. But yeah, it's kind of like this, that if you drive too slow, it's almost faster to, or harder to control the car. I'll just put in initials here. Why now? First time I get to do it. It was an okay time. 6 cars in a race, all looking quite nice, and the double-edge thing is really nice. And there was a time when I wanted an RC car like this, but never had. Most of them they were quite ugly anyway, so it's okay. And now we change track and all the snow and the snow tires, and there's so many details about this game. This whole drive anywhere philosophy as well, which can be a bit dangerous, but it's very flashy. The drill weapon is really fun and so on. So yeah, maybe this is so loud game now that it can put a bit down. Or no, actually let's keep it. One game where music is almost more important than the story. So this was my first game that I kind of chose myself. My mom bought it for my name day gift, but I chose it from the pile and I didn't have to regret at all. So first race is really confusing, lots of mayhem and destruction, but as with all good games there's this learning curve. You almost learn to control them, but still have some accidents here and there. And it seems to look amazing on Ambilight as well. This is maybe a game that shows a bit that the camera isn't the very best for this thing. In real life it looks really nice with all the possible colors. Yeah, let's go. Now on Mars with very red orange kind of tint. And the terrain reacts differently whether you are on asphalt or sand or rock or whatever. This was a game that taught me a lot of nowadays basic ideas. The rest look really nice on the Ambilight. A bit of it shows on the TV as well. Yeah, I can't forget the destruction, even if the first times I was driving quite badly and losing races and not doing very well and flipping a lot and everything, but I remember I spent quite a lot of time just driving around the tracks, not caring about anything but trying to destroy everything and trying to wreck the other cars as much as possible and trying to find ways to get out of the track, since here too the fence is so low that you almost think that you can drive outside and go anywhere. Oh no. First time. Go away, alien. That was quite dominant. But yeah. Back then, what is January 99, I played a lot of this game. And February and so on. And with a bunch of friends as well. There's the nice 2-player mode, even if it's nothing like Crash Team Racing or those, but some of my friends liked this game for a while as well. First league done. Tony got his spotlight, as he deserved, as my original favorite. Or the blue and the speed and calm attitude. Oh, and the extra content. At least there are the deathmatch races that we played also with friends, even if they aren't that great. Maybe next one is Ria, my second favorite. Less power, more speed and more grip. This is like maybe the skill players choice. Or like you want very technical driving. Drive fast but quite well. Tony is a bit more reckless. And for a while the recklessity feels like a good idea, but as you saw in the last cup, balance is probably most important thing. Now we get to see at least something from the behind. One good thing is the AI, that even if it's just 6 cars, but they are driving really dynamically with different lanes and adapting to the different situations quite well, even if it's full chaos. They recover fast, they drive fast, they try to clearly push each other or me sometimes. Get stuck here in this mayhem, then this happens. I just want to get... Now maybe the strength would have been cool, but... Now maybe a chance to get some other weapons than in the last rounds, if I get any weapons. Bye bye. Not again. Leave me alone. Ah. I just say that Rio is excellent for this one. Take something to get free air. Now again. This is unfair already. 3 times the same. But still not hopeless. Still have a chance unless someone shoots me again. Last minute victory. Yeah, so the AI is very dynamic and it's hard to control my car as well, even if I have lots of experience this game. But positions change and fluctuate a lot. From last to third to first to third to last to first to third to first. Or whatever. And I didn't even have time to admire my favorite chunk of the game that was on the previous track. But now at least the city tracks, which are probably the best of them all. just this first visual is so nice. It's so dark, and even on ambilight it looks even better. The yellow lights from the tunnels and faint street lights illuminating the most important things, the city backdrop over there, and then this jazzy music to finalize the experience. It's just quite spectacular. Now I get to drive cleanly. Just feel the smooth vibes. Very breezy, chill. Gaming right here. Some destruction beats. Don't have time to play with the camera angles. So yeah, this looks really stunning, and only thing that comes to mind is like how when I saw Blur on Xbox 360 first time, I was thinking that finally something like that looks even better than this. In some other ways it's quite a letdown, but at least this game shows that 6 cars is already a lot, and you can have very fun and interesting and dynamic racing. And this race after screen also, where the car just keeps going and going and music keeps playing. It's until forever. It's really nice. Now maybe my most nightmare track, right after one of the favorites. Those laser things or whatever generators already give me a bit of trauma. Yeah, not great. Everyone just pushing me. Tight first corner. Kind of need to slow down a bit, and everyone just rams into you. Oh, there was the Wormhole, my very favorite. That one felt really magical the first times I used it. How it's possible that it teleports. How it's possible that it teleports a player from one place to another. Oh, now I get my very own. Now I take the conservative route. Please don't touch me. I'm very delicate. Slightest thing can send your car flying right crazy, and even being double-sided is not always a big help. Yeah, the soundtrack is all around just amazing. Yep. Another perfect run. And now spotlight for Ria, my second favorite in normal terms of racing. There is some special case as well, but these intros or outros also have a nice atmosphere. And next maybe Leon is my like Joker card, I guess. So I use him sometimes. Not really my favorite, but it's a nice stylish white car as well. Now it's time for some Fat Boy Slim. I'm not sure if I commented before anymore that on that other track I was already thinking that's the Fat Boy Slim track, but that's the King of the Beats. One more reason why this game was so stunning. I mean, it's maybe about the first time I heard licensed music in a game, but stunning. A bunch of these tracks were or are still in my music playlists for exercise and so on. And back then I think there's this music player in the menu somewhere, and I used to play that also sometimes. Or just let these like post-race videos run. Looks great, sounds amazing, that's not to lie, and very fast, and like the physics are very cool, very airy, like seen there, and kind of unstable too. For once my toughness was a positive thing, my car's toughness. Where is the number one? Where is the number one? The boosts are super high risk, like so. Damn it, this isn't going as well at all. Oh well. Not a disaster yet. Sometimes the turtle wins the race when everyone else is messing up. Somehow I really remember playing this track with some friends. I remember one of them really loved the Mars levels. Yeah, this also looks so great on the ambilights, with some tracks being more blue and some more red, but still like really very versatile. All sorts of reds and purples flashing. Great looking game 20 years ago and still is. stuff like the train there. Remember many times just having fun with that stuff also. Like it felt like really a train back then, even if it's just a simple object. What? Oh, that was more dangerous than I hoped. Wow. I don't know what happened over there. Missiles shouldn't just hit straight down, but oh well. At least different guy won, so I'm maybe the most steady one. Yeah. Still not enough. I mean, these 3 first cups should be quite easy, but still the margin of error is not that great. But I think this has 4 tracks, so more chances. Oh, and this level I also remember really well. Just trying to destroy everything. The tanks and even the fighters flying around. Even I'm not sure if you are capable of doing that. Yeah, the snow you can really feel when you go on the snow. The traction instantly like evaporates almost. Listening some music and watching even the whites on the ambilight are quite nice. I'm busy on camera, this especially don't look that much. Maybe this camera is not the best for this, which I know, but only already trying a bit different. So far only 2 videos, so not sure if I want to invest that much, but let's see. Come on now. And when you start being nervous, you start to overthink and overcompensate. Yeah, for example, that landing strip place is so cool since it's like way unnecessarily large, but they did it anyway. Looks good. Now there's quite good chance. Seems. One more city track. Very this soulish tune. So easy to like this game. Very tricky slalom section. these tunnels and the buildings in the background and everything, it kind of reminds me how I think this was like a start of when I started to see video games of this era as this part of the same place. Like roll cage happening in the same place where the Spider-Man and Halo and so on are happening. Stable. Still is so smooth game compared to so many other games. Come on. No, I haven't. Didn't gain anything from it. Control. Now is good time to use this. Starting to get a bit worried with the two dominant victories, so if I lose this because this is let's just see this first. Perfect score. Yeah. So the game is kinda over, but it's not yet over. Which is a bit... As much as the game has great things, it also in a way feels a bit like a demo, since it is still quite short. Back then I didn't think about it so much, since I only had the Hercules and Hack to Ice Hockey, which are quite simple and short games too. But how long was this? Like 30 minutes, and I completed all the tracks and all the cups as such. And I'm seeing the end credits. With great visuals and nice smooth music. Then there's this hard mode, which is a way different ball game than the easy one. And this is the time when I remember first time playing on hard, losing and losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. And then eventually I kind of figured out that this Lothar is the best bet for this difficulty. Stability and balance is more important than anything. But basically the same tracks and everything, so there's that. It doubles the length of the game, but in a bit cheaper way. Or more than doubles. And the main thing here is that there's this black driver who has way better card than the other ones, so it's kind of what happened there. So it kind of follows this Mario Kart thing with one guy winning almost everything, and you need to. That means you need to win every race, or you won't win. Like finishing second on every track will never be enough. But as we saw at the very early, and even still, it's not perfect AI, at least not like a Mario Kart where it's impossible to make your worst rival to lose. He is always first or second depending on your position. This game, at least, the position can fluctuate, even if the black driver is so good that he probably still can catch up even if he falls to the last position. But this seems to be a perfect start now. Well, almost perfect, depends what the black guy is doing. Yeah, in a way it's a short game and a fun game, so playing the tracks again isn't that bad. Normally in games I don't really care for further difficulties. Not even my best time. Oh, he had a really bad race. Very good for me. There he was again. This time I managed to sabotage him a bit again. None of the weapons are cool as well. Hydra-Hän. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. One time in Wormhole is almost good thing. Someone overtakes you right after they shoot it. No, 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 no. I still have a chance. Ah! Oh well. Still way the favorite, I guess. What? Was he fifth again? Who overtook me? Or was it the purple one still? Oh. Right. He's very lucky, but still the Ria is winning. The sure if I want to drive all the cups again, since 10 balls isn't, or there isn't much anything else. This ice weapon is also very cool, how you think actually you see how the other cars struggle and how I struggle if someone shoots it at me. All around the physics in this are still amazing for PlayStation standard especially. Only my third game I play and still it's like the most supernatural in a way. So many PlayStation games are so blocky and bulky, but this is so smooth. Every way. Everything is in my hands if I win the red car and place in decent position. So I don't want to sabotage that one too much. Now some gears. Hopefully it impacts the red one most. Alright, maybe that's enough. There's the deathmatch, but solo it's unplayable anyway. Oh, now he gained something, not enough. But hard to one victory also. Ah, then there was this thing, yes. You need to like win every track. Not that difficult in a way. But I remember still. It's a very short game unfortunately, but there is some motivation to replay. Yeah, I don't want to do everything. There's the time attack. Oh, it's like island tracks. Marsh. Ah, the island tracks and the city tracks, yes. And then the ice tracks. Maybe it's some practice, since this practice mode was also really fun. Mostly I played this in the early '99. And return it to every now and then is fun. It's a great looking game with wonderful music and the physics and the car racing with the great dynamic AI and everything. The cup system, I also always like the cup system where you have multiple races and collect points, especially if the AI is like dynamic and their positions fluctuate like they do in this. You never know who wins, and like even if you place quite badly in the first couple of races, you can still have a chance. It's just fun to drive. And then there are the unlocks for exceptional performance and the multiplayer. Unfortunately, the multiplayer doesn't have other drivers. Well, it's both fun to drive and wreck things. Like on this training track, you just can drive forever on this nice city track with the great lightning. Still looks quite good on Ambilight. And have the tunnels, can drive on the ceiling. See the nice skybox behind there with the buildings and everything, and it feels like a real city. And this is like a great demo game, so you can just leave this mode here and let the anyone can grab the controller and play something. I also remember sometimes driving like a normal car here, just trying to stay in my lane and just very relaxed. Feeling the music, feeling the night vibes, like very early Forza Horizon. The blinking street signs. It's almost like made for real normal everyday driving, but somehow these guys took it over and there's no one else for whatever reason. And then there's this cool thing that you can change the car from here. Let's take some purple power. And here you can immediately feel that this car jet is much slower than the Tony, but the grip is much more strong. Overall, I must have taken some hours just playing around on this track, trying to get the best lap times and everything. I also remember playing some of the time trials, like trying to get better and better time, since in this game it's so technical. It's kind of motivating to see the first times and how you can improve, and then you almost get stuck but still can find some milliseconds to cut from your time. Until then you go too far and fail and lose the race lap. There's this thing, when you are driving first you always get the number 1 missiles, and then you hope that you have a shield so you can use it. Hello. Here's for you. Here in this mode I also remember basically trying to smash the other car, even if it's clearly not possible, but this is a good thing. I prefer that the cars just fly around and need to gather themselves as opposed to getting wrecked. Yeah, like this. Trolling the AI car like this is always fun. Take the one last guy, the Hulk. just drive the wrong way for. One more dumb thing I used to do. Okay, not more. But back then this was there, like after I got this roll cage, it was like 3 months before any new more games, so I had time to play quite a bit of this. And yeah, I played this again every few years since it's so short and fun game. Now it's been some time, but still I remember most of this stuff. Just park here. Oh yeah, this. Well, this must be the best game so far out of these 6. The only thing is that it's kind of short, but shortness is always a tricky thing to rate in these games. Just go back. Since even when I try to think about ratings for these games, it's like something like Popeye was and still is very fun game, but it lasts 5 minutes. It can't really stretch anymore because then it would get boring, but then it's really fun game. So how to compare something on Xbox that lasts 10 hours but is very boring all around, but you'll kind of get your money's worth entertainment for hours in a way. This game also, like, you get hours and hours of entertainment from this game, but it's like in shorter bursts. It's still extremely fun game. And yeah, by far the best of these, and even in length it isn't that bad. Now I need to think what to do with the next game, since they start to get a bit longer and I don't want these videos to get too much longer. But yeah, that's about for video number 2, so let's see what I do next time. Bye bye.